When we say reactive dog, we usually mean a dog who overreacts, a dog who responds to certain triggers in his or her environment with an intensity that's out of proportion to the threat that it poses or to what would be expected. And that reaction could involve tensing up, it could involve clenching jaws, it could involve standing tall, hard stare, growling, snarling, air biting, snapping, lunging and barking, screaming, whining, as well as, of course, biting. There is usually also a change in the dog's posture and demeanor, and this can give us some clues to what emotional states, what emotions the dog could be feeling in that moment and that are driving this behavior. Fear and a sense of threat are very common reasons for canine aggressive displays, and the motivation behind the behavior in this case is to increase the distance between the dog and the trigger, to make the scary thing go away. Another typical culprit is frustration or even anger. A dog who is highly motivated towards something, maybe chasing an animal or another dog, wanting to go and greet another dog or another person, but is prevented from accessing it and is highly aroused, but is lacking the coping skills, lacking self-calming abilities, lacking impulse control. That dog will experience frustration. And frustration is not a pleasant feeling most of the time. If the dog experiences frustration each time he is facing this particular situation, it can turn into anger. That anger may be directed towards the stimulus itself or something in the vicinity. It may become redirected towards the lead that's trying to restrain the dog, towards a hand that's holding the collar, towards the nearest dog, towards an object, and this can end up in a bite. And because frustration is not a nice feeling and the whole situation is not a nice situation for the dog may develop a sense of not wanting to be in that situation, and may, being trapped on a lead or being prevented from moving, may develop a defensive, aggressive display to make the whole situation go away. Another common component in dog reactivity is high arousal or overexcitement. Over-aroused dogs with poor coping skills, poor self-control and poor social skills will often behave in an intense and boisterous fashion. This is likely to get a nervous or otherwise unpleasant reaction from other dogs or people. Our highly aroused dog is likely to be impulsive at this point and not make very good decisions, so his reaction in turn might be aggression. This boisterous and excited dog is also very likely to experience a lot of frustration. These three components, fear, frustration, and over-arousal, are just some typical examples, and there is often no clear dividing line between them. One thing we know for sure is that helping a reactive dog and changing the behavior, the aggressive behavior, has to involve changing this emotional response, the emotional state that the dog is experiencing in response to the trigger. So basically we need to change how the dog is feeling about that scary thing. What we want is a dog who, rather than being scared of something, is now looking forward to it. A dog who is feeling safe and curious rather than threatened. And a dog who is feeling calm and knows what to do rather than being over the top, excited or angry. Dog aggression is a huge area of expertise, of knowledge, of research, of practice, and there are numerous volumes written about the topic, guides, there is so much research, and in this short video we're not even able to touch the surface, and we're not able to offer you any substantial advice. And every dog is different, and every dog's specific situation and specific responses are different, so your training has to be tailored to your dog. It often takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to help a reactive dog. It's a steep learning curve for the owner. It's management strategies, it's training plans, it's troubleshooting, it's changes to the dog's lifestyle and routine and their environment. And of course, it's rebuilding of the trust-based relationship between the owner and the dog. While in the canine world, aggression is a relatively normal phenomenon. Dogs communicate with aggressive displays, of course to a certain degree. In the human world, dog aggression can be alarming, it can be upsetting, it can be embarrassing, it can be also dangerous. However, it's much easier to change the behavior that we perceive as a problem behavior when we are working with our dogs rather than against them, when we are prepared to put in the time, to put in the effort to support and help our reactive dog, and when we're ready and willing to understand our dog. If your dog is reactive, aggressive towards other dogs, towards people, towards other animals, first of all, muzzle train your dog. So teach your dog to enjoy and be at ease wearing a muzzle. There are numerous benefits to this. First of all, you are managing the risk. Obviously, with a muzzle on, your dog will not be able to bite anyone. Secondly, knowing this, that the risk is being managed, will make you more relaxed, will help you keep that lead less tense, will stop you from giving your dog nervous feedback. Finally, a muzzle is a little bit of a signal to other people and people who have other dogs with them that your dog may need space, which means they will perhaps keep a little bit further away, and there is less risk that your dog will be triggered and practice reactivity. Second, observe yourself. How do you feel and how do you behave when your dog is being reactive or aggressive towards other people? Perhaps on a walk, you have your dog on a lead, your dog starts lunging and barking. How do you feel? Do you feel embarrassed? Do you feel scared? Do you feel out of control? And how is this likely to affect your dog? How is this likely to affect your dog when you next see another dog and you immediately may tense up on that lead or become nervous? Tip number 3, avoid situations that your dog can't currently cope with. Stay as far away as your dog needs to be able to stay calm, and try to create a happy association with the triggers. Try to help your dog practice better choices than reactivity, than aggressive displays. Tip number 4, be kind and gentle and patient with your dog and with yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't think of your dog as being naughty. Just try your best and be prepared for a bumpy ride, for lots of ups and downs. It's a long journey and you are an amazing team and you can do amazing together. Tip number 5, look for professional help. A skilled behaviorist who knows what they're doing, who understands your dog, who can assess your dog and work with your dog and you, can be the difference between frustration and constant sense of failure and the peace of mind and knowing what you're doing, knowing what you need to do, seeing results and basically making progress.